she chose this lifestyle. That's what.
Hey, Mama. So I wanted to just kind of give you some encouragement and maybe a little perspective. So, first of all, you know me. My name's Nicole Pludre. I'm a person in long-term recovery. I've been in recovery since July 13th of 2015. I use Suboxone as a tool in my recovery and it has saved my life. I was addicted to methamphetamine. It was my main drug of choice, but I was also deeply addicted to opioids, shooting them up and taking benzos and shooting cocaine. So I was just all around drug addicted person who loved highs, lows, ups, downs, all around or kind of highs. I didn't care. But I was highly addicted to meth and opioids at the same time. I had moments of sobriety. I would have 6 months of sobriety. I remember one time I got 9 months of sobriety and I returned back to using. I chose to go back to using after having a life of working a job, making money, having my own vehicle back, having a place to live, having my own apartment at one time. And I returned back to use. I chose that lifestyle over and over again many different times after having 6 to 9 months of sobriety. I kept choosing that life until one day I didn't choose it anymore. Until one day I was like, my son is important to me. I don't want to lose custody of him. You know, my little boy Nathaniel had gotten taken away from me because of my addiction. He was not even 1 year old. And that was the thing that really snapped me out of it and made me realize that I had to make a change because I wasn't just fucking up my own life anymore. I was fucking up my baby's life. And that was the thing that kind of like made me stop dead in my tracks and choose my son's life and eventually choose my own life. But there's been so many times that I can tell you about where I was sober and doing so well, succeeding in life, working in upper management, making good money, in relationships that were healthy and people that I cared about. And I literally, all it took was one thing to set me off, and I was off to the races. And you're probably going, well, why haven't you done that this time? How have you been able to get 8 years sober? I truly believe it was like a combination of things. It was a combination of me being in therapy. It was a combination of me being on Suboxone. I'm still on it to this day, 8 years later. It was a combination of me being in a recovery program, having a mentor, sponsor, therapists. It was a combination of me losing custody of my son and not being willing to give the state of Arkansas my child. All of that was just like, it just catapulted me into this, like, I gotta fight for my life. And now I will never go back. You couldn't pay me to go back to that life. I am so far removed from that lifestyle. I wouldn't even know. I don't even want to even think about trying to get drugs at 41 years old as a mother and sitting here in my little matching PJs, you know, with my little dog. No, hell fucking no. What keeps me from going back is my love for my son and the love I have for myself today. And I didn't have love for myself for many, many, many years. From the time I can remember being 14 years old till the time I gave birth to my son, I did not love myself at all. When I saw my son, I knew that I loved him. But even that love of having my son wasn't enough to keep me from using drugs while I was pregnant with him, while I gave birth to him, or after I had him. And so, like, there's no, like, magic answer. But I can definitely tell you that connection, therapy, recovery support, medication-assisted treatment, mental health medication, and my willingness to change is what saved my life. Don't give up on Star. Don't give up on her. Keep praying for her. I would love to talk to her, and maybe if she's willing to, like, work together and become a part of our little family over here. But I'm going to tell you, it takes sacrifice. It takes sacrifice. It takes totally separating yourself from anyone who's using and abusing substances. It takes going to the meetings. It takes doing the therapy. It takes following through with your probation and parole. Like, it really takes a lot of hard work and dedication to get sober and to change your life. And only she knows if she's ready to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm always here to support. And I've been watching and following her journey. I follow her account as well. I've reached out to her and messaged her to let her know that I'm here for her. And I just don't want you to blame yourself, because if that's one thing that I feel so guilty about, is my mom thinking that it's her fault, or that she could have done something to make me be different, because there's nothing she could have done. It was all on me.